Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how easy it is to take your image from Photoshop directly into ON1 Effects, where you can create quick, unique styles and build any look you want using the powerful tools that are built right into ON1 Effects. Let's dive in and take a look. So let's just start with a basic photograph here. I'm inside of Photoshop. I'm going to open this image. Now within Camera Raw, I'm just going to use Auto to save a bit of time. It's going to do a good job of just bringing out the basic look of the photo, and then we can go ahead and choose Open to bring it in as a layer inside of Photoshop. So what we're going to do with the image is we're going to take this image into Effects and we're going to style it. The great thing about using Photoshop along with ON1 Effects is you can do any of your edits that you need to perform inside of Photoshop and then just quickly send it over to ON1 Effects to get creative with the look or the style. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have the layer selected that I want to send over to ON1 Effects. We're then going to go to File, Automate, and I'm going to choose ON1 Effects Standalone 2025. Inside of ON1 Effects, there's a few different ways that I can apply different styles and local adjustments or filters to my photograph. An easy way is just to go into this Effects tab here. You can choose Add Filter. And there's a ton of amazing filters that you can apply to your image, such as color grading. You can change things to a black and white look. You can add in vignettes. Now, if you're not sure what a filter does, you can always hover over it and it will give you a quick description of that filter. And one thing I really love about ON1 Effects is that you can add on as many filters as you'd like, and they're really easy to modify to fit the look of your image. And also, you can easily remove them if you don't like what they're doing to the scene. So the first thing I'm going to do to this image is I'm just going to go in and I'm actually going to target individual areas of my photo to apply different filters to them. So the first thing I'm going to target here is just the plant that's sticking up out of the ground. And an easy way to do that is to use the Super Select AI tool. I'm going to head over here to my tool well on the left. I can click on Super Select AI. I'm just going to hover over this region that I want to modify. In this case, it's the plant region within the scene. You can see it's giving this blue overlay, indicating to me that it's selected that specific area of my photo. From there, I'm just going to right click and I'm going to add in dynamic contrast. Dynamic contrast is a really popular filter for bringing in detail and texture into your scene or a specific area of your photo. So I'll just use Surreal there. It's a little bit strong of a style, but if I turn this off and on here, it's doing a really great job of just, again, bringing in some nice texture and detail into that specific part of my photo. Now, if it's a little bit too strong, you can always try different styles within that particular filter, or just lower the opacity a bit. Now from there, I'm going to target the area surrounding the little plant there within my scene. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to choose Erase rather than Paint, and I'll select that plant again. And then let's add in one of my all-time favorite filters for backgrounds, the Glow filter, and we'll use Darker to bring in a nice dreamy dark glow behind the plant. The great thing about this filter in conjunction with dynamic contrast is rather than adding in detail and texture, Glow almost softens things up a little bit and gives things this nice dreamy glow. Now I really like it for backgrounds behind the subject to just soften things up, and it gives in a little bit of contrast as well. Now I'm going to lower the opacity just a little bit so that's not too strong. I think around 70 works pretty well. But you can see it's just doing a nice job of just modifying the background behind our little plant within the scene. Now let's add on another filter here, and let's sort of capitalize on this area in that top left where the sun is coming in through the background trees. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to add a filter, I'm going to add the sun flare filter, and I'm going to use this second style in sun flare, and that's just going to bring in a nice bit of sun into that area and just give some beams of light coming into the little plant section there to liven things up within the photo. Now within Sunflare, if things are too strong, you can always modify that amount to tone it down, or you can adjust the tone and color section to fit the look that you're going for within that particular image. Another thing I love about these sunflower filters, if we go down to the bottom section here, we have sunshine, and you can use this to emulate the look of sunshine within your image. So if you want things a little bit more sunny, if you will, just pull up on the amount slider and you can fine tune that sunshine look within your scene. I'm going to give it a little bit more just to make it quite intense there. Again, you can always modify the opacity for these filters to fit that look that you're going for. But because we are doing a demo, I just want to make sure that you can see what these filters are doing to your scene. So I'm digging the sun flare here. I think it's doing a great job of just boosting up that bright light coming into the scene there, and it really makes this plant stand out within the photo. So let's add on one last filter here. And actually before we do that, I'm just going to crop the image a bit just to get rid of this bottom section. Now you could always crop beforehand or after, it really doesn't matter, but I'm seeing that this area might be a little bit distracting. So I'm just going to hit C on my keyboard. I'm going to change my overlay to rule of thirds. And I'm just going to pull this up just a little bit there to get rid of that distracting element in that foreground section. So before we add on that one last filter, let's just check our before and after. We have the original here, and then after. So I'm really digging it. I think it's really brought out this dreamy, whimsical style within the scene, and it works really well for this particular image. Now let's add on one of my other all-time favorite filters, the borders filter. So if we go in here to borders, we can add on a nice, elegant border right out of the gate, just to frame up the image and give us a nice, interesting composition. Now within any of these filters, and especially the borders filter, if you go into the style section here and you just go into the more menu, there's tons of borders that you can choose from, and they all sort of have their own unique look. So feel free to play around with these. But I would say my all-time favorite is just that default one, just this nice, elegant white border surrounding the composition there. Now, again, if you're looking to add on any more filters or you're looking to experiment with filters, feel free to go into this Add Filter dialog here and just play around to see what works. You know, for example, if we just turn off this borders filter, we'll just eliminate it there. And let's say we want to maybe color grade the image. A great filter for that could be the LUTs filter, which applies LUTs to your scene. And again, if you go into that more menu, you can find various different styles for some color grading within your image that range from cinematic to moody to dreamy to warm and airy. And so I would definitely recommend playing around with these and seeing what works for the image that you're adjusting and modifying. There's a ton of awesome ones in here. You can also download a ton of free bonuses such as LUTs, borders, you name it, from our creative library. It's just on1.com/creative-library. Now another option, and we'll just add in that borders filter again. Another option if you're looking to add on a particular look or you're just looking for a way to start out if you're not sure what to add on to an image, I'd recommend going over here to this little bottom section, clicking on this icon, and there's tons of amazing presets that come built into ON1 Effects itself. And of course, you can always download a bunch of free ones from our website. But as you go through here, if you click on one of these, such as, let's just go into maybe cinema. If we click on cinema, we can just hover over the actual preset and it will give us a little preview of what that's doing to our scene. Now, if you want a larger preview, just click on this little icon here and you can make these even larger to really see the difference between what they're doing to your photograph. And then if you want to apply it, just click on it and it will populate that effects tab with those particular filters that create that look for that particular preset. But I'm thinking and digging the way this looks. I think it looks really great. So once we're done with that edit and we want to go back into Photoshop, it's really easy to do. All we have to do is just click on this little blue check mark at the bottom, and that will send our newly edited image back into Photoshop. So now we're back in Photoshop and we have our newly edited ON1 Effects photo right above the original image that we were adjusting inside of Photoshop. So we have the original, and then after, with those dreamy styles applied inside of ON1 Effects. So it's literally that easy. Just go to File, Automate, and then ON1 Effects Standalone 2025. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to our channel for more tips and tricks on using ON1 products. Thanks everybody. I'll see you in the next lesson.